Oh, this could be the S guard. Whoa.
Commentary for me.
Doing all right. Excited to see this match. Briev has been pulling things out tonight. Had climbed up the winners bracket earlier and only went out in semifinals. So excited to see their Snake gameplay here, and Solid pulling out the Banjo. These two actually did play earlier. We didn't see it, but this was a little bit of an upset. Briev won 2-1. So now this is going to be best of 5, so you're going to have to play that a little bit further along. And Solid has had this time running up losers bracket.
All right, and you know, this is actually a matchup that I have been, it's interesting to me. When Banjo came out and I saw how the grenade worked with the rest of the kit, I was like, oh, this character's like DLC Snake.
Yeah,
Which,
honestly,
like, isn't totally accurate, but like it also is a lot more accurate than you think it is.
yeah, you make the assumption there, and then like it turns out like you're half right, but you're not completely right.
Yeah, the regular eggs kind of serve a lot of a similar purpose to what the grenades do, just in a different way. Like the down B grenades, same thing, same general purpose.
Yeah, a lot of zoning.
You've got a strong recovery, so you can get back where you can mix up your recoveries high and low. You've got good normals, good tilts that you can kind of box people at a close range, and some surprisingly strong kill moves for an otherwise zony character. But with some pretty big disadvantages. You got some bad disadvantage state to go with it. That said, Snake doesn't have Wonder Wing. Snake has
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of
I was about to bring that up because we've seen that a few times here. The Wonder Wing pops up and gives you a lot of approach there that maybe the Banjo does not have.
Oh, and speaking of the Wonder Wing, right there too, catching Briev on the platform on the way down, and that's going to be the kind of stuff that Briev's going to have to look for here, because you can see this is becoming a little bit of a zoner war at times. There's a lot of projectile play going on, a lot of zoning. Oh, the C4 perfectly timed as Gamer tried to fall back to the other platform there. There's a lot of zoning going on, a lot of just exploding everything. But Snake still has to get close and use some pretty standard tilts to find stocks. Wonder Wing is a little bit less than standard.
Yeah, and without like a solid grab game, it's a bit harder to counter the Wonder Wing, because like if you have a command grab or you have anything at length, it gives you a safe option to stop out that Wonder Wing. But again, Snake really doesn't have that. Mostly you're seeing that grab when somebody else is shielding a little bit too much, a little bit too confidently.
And speaking of solid, a solid back air for that stock from Solid Snake. Briev evening the stock count out here a little bit, but having a little trouble getting past the ball of eggs coming out. This exploding omelet, I guess you could call it, from Banjo is going to be difficult to navigate around.
Yeah, which is, I mean, like we were saying, exactly what Banjo wants to be doing with it. It's that same thing with the grenades. You just kind of have them out and as a wall / catching your opponent if they're doing anything wrong.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of, oh wait, that's the berry. No, oh wait, there is the follow-up. The second up tilt is going to connect, and suddenly Gamer maneuvering with quite a bit of a lead here now.
Yeah, definitely the advantage they wanted to get there. I was surprised that grenade still went off just in time. I felt like Solid had gotten around that situation. Briev able to use that and keep an advantage and steal that stock. Solid percentage on Briev, though, a little bit from their own explosives as well. But right now we are both at 1 stock.
Yeah, the way that Briev set that up, I feel like everything in the vicinity of Gamer was exploding at that point. There was one safe place, and that's exactly where Briev planted that up tilt to find that stock. But once again, though, now that Gamer's working with less percentage, isn't getting knocked around as much by the grenades, you're seeing them kind of take over this neutral play here. Another grab into the berry, another up tilt, and Gamer's going to take that first game of the set.
Yeah, just solid gameplay there. Once you get the berry, you're just looking for the up tilt. And I mean, maybe even a little bit spammy there, but knew it was gonna work, so like, why not be?
You know, let's see how many times we can fit the word solid into a commentary on Solid Snake. I think that's like a goal for tonight, right?
You mean the game of Solid Snake versus Solid Gamer?
Yeah, yeah. Wait, that's not actually the name. Oh my god, it is. Hold on. I've been saying gamer for so long to shorten it that I forgot what the first word is. And now that I look back there, I see it. And wow, we're going to be saying that word
Stares
a
you
lot this
right
set.
in the face.
That word is going to lose all meaning by the end of the set.
All right, so solid start by Solid, but Solid is holding a grenade right now.
Just feeling each other out right now. Playing the range game with these projectiles. Bryav trying to... Oh, cooking that grenade perfectly to land that little bit of damage. You know, it's only 10%, but I feel like just the sending the message that, yes, I can cook these grenades and have them blow up on your face from over there. That lets them know that they're going to approach. And that's exactly what we saw Gamer did, albeit successfully.
Yeah, this is, I mentioned at the very beginning, before we saw what some people were playing, I was like, we don't see the projectiles as much in this tournament, and it'd be kind of cool to see people with just projectiles everywhere. And then Bryav ran through it for a little bit with just projectiles going everywhere, and I was like, I like this. Bryav has that like projectile gameplay I wanted to see, but so does Banjo, and they're definitely putting it out to each other.
The Gamer is providing just so much pressure in those ledge situations that might be the up tilt. Here go the up smash setup instead out of the berry for that first stock there. Gamer has really been finding those grabs and those berries to find stocks there. That is going to be priority number one, I think, for Bryav going forward.
Carried the grenade a little bit too far forward and got hit by that after the Wonder Wing.
You know, like, that's the nice thing about the grenade and the Wonder Wing, right? Is like you can just throw the Wonder Wing out there and you don't have to worry about the end lag because the grenade goes off, you'll take less damage than the punish you probably would have taken. That's the idea, right?
I suppose so. It still looks a little funny, but yeah. Nice job grabbing that grenade midair. We love to see that when like you hit the spring and that interaction.
Yeah, and there is no rest for Bryav in the disadvantaged state right now. They were way off the top of the screen, and Gamer was just at 3/4 of the way up the screen, still chucking grenades, still threatening from that high up. Like, there's nowhere that is safe for Bryav right now. They're just gonna have to try to way to power through all this pressure to find continue. Hey, C4 though, didn't see that.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I'm saying. Bryav just like has been keeping a strong head. We saw holding onto that shield for a very long time there. Back and forth Wonder Wings. That was a bold move, having just gotten into a new stock. But yeah, Bryav has been just grenades and things all over the stage.
The break.
That's gonna hurt. Yeah, that hurt. I suppose that's the thing to be careful about. You see Snake do this a lot, where you're okay with getting hit by your own grenades. You're shielding them. They don't do that much damage to your shield. Whatever. Wonder Wing does not enough to destroy your shield, but Wonder Wing plus an explosive on a shield you've been holding for a second, that might be enough. That turns out sometimes is enough.
Yeah, and very liberal usage of the Wonder Wing here coming out from Gamer through a lot of the set. Not gonna quite come out in time there though. That start lag, not quite a little too long to avoid that down air. Bryav trying to apply whatever pressure they can here as well, but the normally you see a lot of Banjos, they try to preserve those wings and use them at the right times, but Gamer here is not afraid to just be chucking them out there. I mean, you do get 5 a stock. When you first start playing Banjo, I feel like you're like, okay, I've only got 5 a stock, so I gotta be careful. But then down the line, you're like, 5 a stock is kind of a lot.
Yeah, honestly, and especially like, it felt like there was that turnaround during that second stock, because it was like, huh, I know how long this stock kind of lasts now. I've felt out what I can do with them. Although we did see that back and forth early on, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and now we're just kind of throwing grenades at each other from across the platforms, and we're playing like some full-on Angry Birds out here right now.
But it's when they get up close to each other that we're going to add up that percentage with explosives in hand for Snake as well. Means that the trade-off actually seemed to work okay for Snake, but now that we're spread back out,
Ooh,
that was
aggressive.
almost a KO. But Snake actually able to use that to just add a little bit more percentage off as well. And at this point, if Snake gets hit by something too solid, that is going to be a KO at 154% right now.
Yeah.
But slowly just taking off that damage, because the minor hits aren't really going to do much to Snake. But
Oh, another big forward air though. Gamer moving in and zone breaking when the opportunity presents itself to find those stocks. That there's a whole lot of grenade war there, a whole lot of waiting things out, and you know it definitely seemed like the plan for Bryav was, hey, I'm not gonna die to a thrown Banjo grenade, at least not directly. So play this projectile game out, throw things around, you know, try to get those percentages evened out. But Gamer on both two occasions there, both of those kill flashes that game, just taking the aggressive option, dashing in and just throwing a full hop or short hop aerial out there with forward air to find the stock. That's excellent recognition of all of the 4,000 explosions going on across that stage at any given time.
yeah, Bryav does a great job of just knowing where everything is on the stage and controlling things all around. But this is the same kind of situation we saw that knocked Bryav actually into the loser's bracket here, where just did not have an answer when there was that high pressure and the other person found their way in through the explosions, because then Snake had most of the options out at that point and most of them like all across the stage. What do you do when the other person gets in on you? And Snake has a strong close range game too, but relying on these explosions and just having everything placed seems to be working out for Bryav and seems to really be the strong suit for them here.
Yeah, but we are seeing a character switch up from Gamer despite taking the first two games, switching into the Inkling here on Lilat.
Yeah, along with everybody's favorite stage switch up.
Yeah, of course, everyone loves Lilat, right? That's
Yeah,
a
no.
great stage.
Angles, 10 out of 10. Love them.
But yeah, I'm very interested to try to figure out why the Inkling switch was the go-to move here, because the Banjo seemed to be working. The games were close, but you were ultimately getting the win. In wonder if it's perhaps a stage choice related thing or something along those lines. I guess we're gonna hopefully find out as the match goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it just felt safe as well. I mean, it was a close enough match, but sometimes you just get in your head and you feel like you can pull something off. Solid percentage on both of them, but I have noticed it never really felt like Snake has been getting much ink.
Oh,
Amazing job dodging around that and pulling up under. I feel like that's about as much distance as you could really afford with Inkling there.
Yeah, I don't think you go much further out than that. But Brian really pulling some powerful grenades. It's just multiple projectile combos, grenades and missiles on that first stock there, which you did get to see versus the Banjo. Brian didn't lose that first stock, but does take it right back, evens the game up immediately with a dash attack. Brian lived to a 159 there, which I think definitely speaks to the difficulty Inkling has killing some characters. A lot of times you're either, unless you really have your up throw combos together, or you've got your off-stage play really looking good, you're kind of relying on a roller instead of your kill, and that is not the easiest move to land.
Well, yeah, especially sometimes you forget how heavy Snake is as a character as well. Definitely categorized as a heavy. You definitely have to be able to hit him with something strong enough to get that KO.
Yeah, and Inkling doesn't have the strongest moveset launch knockback power wise outside of their smash attacks, which are a little on the slow side.
And we are now seeing spread out. See, I feel like Solid though is getting that if I rush in very aggressive occasionally, I'm able to win these exchanges, which, I mean, as I've been saying, it seems what Bryav has not been able to figure out how to capitalize as well on.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing the same thing happen in reverse here. Gamer now living up to 161. Still no stock able to be taken. Bryav has gone for a couple of lethal options there, trying to find a combo off of the grenade here and there into an up air or a back air, but hasn't been able to land one just yet, and the percentages are rapidly equalizing now too. Dash attack even from Inkling, almost killing a character as heavy as Snake.
Going for that grab there, not able to pull it off, able to get out of that safely. But
Ooh.
playing on that ledge like that can be a very dangerous thing, especially as light and as much damage. What was that kill?
I think that may have been a grenade in the hand running out of timer. It's hard to tell. Lilat has this black background that makes seeing the grenades and the C4 is kind of difficult at times, but I think that's what it was.
That is disappointing to hear. Losing out on that solid percentage then. Solid stock league.
Setting up the grenades, setting up the C4s, Bryav just trying to claim stage space with explosions as much as possible. Taking the burst option there to get a solid hit. That C4, now something that wasn't on the radar for Gamer. Percentage racking up pretty quickly, but once Inkling gets in on a character like Snake, it is tough for Snake to get back into neutral, and he can be taking a lot of damage off of one lost interaction.
Yeah, right now though, Snake just leaving these grenades everywhere, making it actually hard for Inkling to be able to find the approach right now. And Inkling the one leaving the bomb on the ground.
Oh.
Snake's setup there was immaculate.
Let's walk through that step by step there, okay? That was Snake drops a grenade, gets buried by Roller. Roller hits the grenade after hitting Snake, blows up both of them, knocking Snake out of the bury, knocking Gamer towards the C4. Bryav then detonating the C4. That's one of those plays where if you just walked into the room or you just saw that little portion of the clip out on Twitter later tonight, you need somebody to walk you through like what exactly happened there. What a sequence of events.
And that's what I've been talking about. Bryav tonight has done just a solid job of knowing where everything that they have placed is. Just like the upper level of like stage control.
Yeah, I really thought when that roller connected that was going to be it for Bryav, but it was it for Gamer instead. We are seeing Gamer switch back to the Banjo here for game 4, so a little more of what we've been seeing throughout the rest of the set. Going to be a lot of long-range play here with the grenades. Bryav using the drone just to try to get that C4 a little closer to the mid-stage without taking chip damage from those eggs. Excellent timing on the parry from the forward air as well. I think this is a pretty good signifier that Bryav is maybe starting to catch on to Gamer's habits on this character.
It is interesting to also see this switch up from the way both of them were playing the platforms to absolutely no platforms. We are in Final Destination right now. So a lot more room for both of them to play their projectile games, but a lot less of that vertical momentum here.
Yeah, those platforms not being there actually maybe benefit Bryav more so than Gamer, just because there's not really anywhere for Gamer to kind of retreat to get more leverage, more height to throw the neutral beacon eggs. Not as much height to really rain down with the grenades, generated grenades from the down B. Oh, but a Wonder Wing there catching Bryav's landing. Gamer, regardless of any stage concerns, is really pulling ahead for now.
Yeah, Bryav definitely looked like was trying to set up for that C4 left in the middle there, but Solid never quite gave the chance to do that, and Bryav maybe paying a little bit too much attention to that. Great job with the up smash though, landing that hit and keeping Solid off of the stage here.
These traps, the missiles, and then Bryav nearly had what it might have been a stock taking up tilt there, but didn't dash quite far enough. Still does have Gamer out here on the ledge though. That might be enough to set up his kill. But Gamer's been playing really well off this ledge here, and I think it's been a major factor in this match as well. It's just that it hasn't been as easy to lock down Gamer on the ledge here with those snake tools, and they're usually things that make it very difficult to get off the ledge. Yeah,
right now we're seeing just a whole. That's that snake gameplay, but he used the other character's grenade to do it.
Yeah, and you know, like, if you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't have even noticed, right? Like, I'm telling you, these characters are so similar in all of the ways that they're not different.
Yeah, that's true of Anyway,
Listen, I know what I
Snake
said.
moving in with that dash attack, trying to start this off with a little bit of an advantage. Seemed to be working out, but then Solid able to land on the ground there and turn this around at this point.
Yeah, I love when Bryav oftentimes is trying to recover high, and I love that Gamer is not afraid to jump up there after them, even throw the up B to get the needed height to make it happen, use those extra double jumps, because Banjo, one of those few characters in the game that can act after their up B. Snake as well, capable of the same thing. So there's a lot of horizontal distance being covered in this match, where they can still do things. That's down throw to up tilt. That's, oh no, okay, forward tilt instead. Maybe that wouldn't have true comboed at that percentage. Hard for me to know. It's a very Snake specific setup. But, you know, just throw 14, 15 mortars on the ledge. That'll do the job.
Yeah, 3 tries there before finding what Bryav was looking for. But eventually, you have to approach. Like, at some point, is what you got to do.
You eventually have to get back on the ledge, and you know what they say. If at first you don't succeed, fire another 3 or 4 mortars.
Again, Solid doing a great job of just staying out of this C4. And honestly, at this point, just staying off of the ground because there's explosives everywhere.
Yeah, and Bryav is absolutely playing like their bracket like on the line here, a forward smash. Hold on.
Did not think we were seeing the KO there, but that was 2 grenades and the forward smash just hit percentage, and then that velocity.
You could see the setup coming. You knew that it was a bad place for Gamer to be. Like, they were about to land into a bunch of grenades. They really didn't have a whole lot of great tools to back their momentum out. Air dodging there would have provided an opportunity for Bryav to run in and get the grab after the explosions, and then, you know, go for a down tilt and any number, or down throw and any number of things off of that. But instead, Bryav, sensing that the air dodge was coming, just whipping out the old RPG, catching that gigantic, ridiculously high knockback Snake forward smash that you very rarely see to find that last stock, and that means we're going to a game 5 here. And game 5 starting off much the same as our earlier games as well. A lot of ranged projectile play here, feeling things out with the grenade. We are seeing a little bit more of that, the heat-seeking missile there than Nikita. Just kind of doing loop-de-loops to wait out shield strength too. That's some inventive control.
Yeah, sometimes you'll just see that. We've seen it a few times, especially when getting the other person in the air or off stage, just to like hold that zoning power a little bit longer. Finally hitting that C4, a low percentage, but still. Bryav has been trying for that one. You just gotta have both characters up high enough that the other person can't see it.
Yeah, that is one of those things. The way the camera moves in this game is actually kind of relevant when Snake is in the match. The camera zooms in when both players are close together. If they're far enough off the ground, that does mean that sometimes the stage is no longer in view. And if you can set your C4 up then, when it's not easy to see where it landed, they may not know where it is. They may just forget about it.
Beautiful read on that Wonder Wing through the grenade, and then Solid had to Wonder Wing on through it, and Bryav immediately had a down tilt set up for that.
Oh, that one little Robin break though from Gamer, smacking Bryav right back into that pit of explosions. The zoning play here. Oh, this is going to be the berry. Is it going to set up for the stock though? Up tilt not going to kill at that percentage. Bryav in a bad spot, having to recover from that high up, but not dead.
Yeah, as we said before, swapping up the stage here changed a lot of things. Also raises that kill zone, I believe, which means that that berry is not as reliable with the up tilt as it was before.
Oh, and that's going to be the down throw. Maybe the up tilt? No, forward tilt again there, but excellent work there on the Wonder Wing, throwing out once again a couple projectiles that cause hit stun to slow down the Wonder Wing. And while it didn't immediately cause the kill off the down throw afterwards, it did set up the stock eventually. Gamer coming right back down, finding a berry off the grab to even the stocks back up though, so we're going to be at 2 stocks apiece, 0%.
Yeah, and Bryav in a strong position right now. Even if they lose this one, they still got one more, whereas Solid has to play this, well, solidly.
Yeah, there is, gonna Another wing gone. Wonder Wing gonna go right through, only creating some extra shield pressure there, but not really a second Wonder Wing gone as well. I mean, you get 5 per stock. Generally not a resource that you really run out of unless you're really going ham on that side B. But something to keep in mind regardless. 2 of them being gone and no damage, no percentage, is that actually could be significant because you really want to be getting the maximum out of those resources where you can and just launch them out there when you can get those hits.
And it looks like Briev having a hard time placing things right now. A lot of things just being nerfed out by these eggs, or even when they are being placed, Solid just completely getting out of the way of them as soon as they're on the ground.
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more gamers being forced to take to the skies a little bit, make use of those Kazooie wings, because Briev is just covering so much of the ground with explosions, and with the dash attack threat and the threat of the snake normals as well. That said, it's working for them. Briev is taking more and more damage as the stock goes on, not really getting a whole lot in retaliation. There's just not a whole lot that Briev can really do that isn't committal to hit Gamer when they're up that high. Found the grab right there as Briev was descending, even out of the fastball. Finds Barry and find the stack. But imagine a character that's going to camp you on the top half of the screen, on a stage with no platform. It sounds crazy, but that's what we're seeing happen right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially a character that like doesn't have like an up B that attacks itself. That's not what they're using. No, it's legit just like I'm gonna jump up there and then do things to you. Briev finding the kill there that ties up the stocks, keeps things really close right now.
Briev's maneuvering there was beautiful too. There was so much to maneuver around in that situation, and Snake is not the most elegant of movement characters. Oh, I thought that was up to the shield break, but Briev's shield barely staying intact to set up for a forward smash on the other side of the Wonder Wing. You know, it's at 0%. That's not going to be anywhere near a kill, but it's still a respectable amount of damage for him.
Yeah, honestly, was seeing the same thing, and then Briev dangerously pulling and tempting out the shield, perhaps just trying to get Solid to come in for something that they shouldn't be.
Was that the C4 stick? I think that stuck. No, it didn't. Okay.
That was...
Like it did.
But the missile going across stage and then pushing the pressure that way, that side B landing from the sky hits Solid. This is the gameplay that we're seeing out of Briev that I love right now. Although Solid just, again, back on this offense with these projectiles, keeping Briev from being able to do anything. The best defense is a good offense of explosive and shiny eggs.
Yeah, and again, Gamer kind of just camping horizontally with all that upwards movement, and there's just not a lot that Briev can do without being committal. And that's something that, you know, especially when you're at something approaching kill percentage and the other player is not, is a tough decision to make, but that may just be what needs to happen here for Briev to pull ahead. They may just have to start doing something a little bit more committal and just reading that Gamer's trying to stay in the air for as long as possible.
Briev perhaps going for that same setup as before. Not going to work out this time. Solid knows what's happening. This could be the berry for the KO.
That's it. The instant mash, Briev popping out of that berry immediately, but this time being caught by the first forward tilt. Gamer is going to take that stock 3-2, but the adaptation and the change in the game plan across that set on both sides was incredible. And we saw Briev start to really vary up the game plan on PS2 and even the first game on FD between those two